What's up, guys? Gaonan here, and welcome to Season 5 of Drafting the Masters. Last season was an extremely frustrating season. I don't want to dwell on it too much, but for the first time in many seasons, we did not hit Masters Draft. And the reason that I think this happened was we were too focused on certain strategies and just not thinking clearly about this format. We did 25 drafts and didn't hit Masters. The longest it's ever taken me before was 15 drafts, so I have to think that I just wasn't in the right headspace, wasn't thinking clearly about how this format works and how to win. If you missed last season, I've included the playlist in the top right corner of this video. But last season is in the past. Now I just want to focus on this season and improving and hitting Masters Draft again. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this drafting and deck building video for an exciting announcement about what's going to be happening at 250 subscribers. Without further ado, let's get into our first draft of the season. Alright, first pick of the season, and we have not a very exciting pack. We have Eternity Core, which I think is pretty good. Deadeye is here, which is a double pledge card, which I think is decent. We also have Oni Forge Master, which is probably one of the best commons in the set, especially for the Renown deck. And then we have Power Breach Sentinel, which I think is very strong as well. As weird as it seems, I think Power Breach Sentinel and Oni Forge Master are probably stronger than the two uncommons that we talked about. And I think this pick really comes down to personal preference of, do you want to be in the Ixtun Renown deck? Forge Master could work in the Genev deck as well, but it's much better in the Ixtun Renown deck. Power Breach Sentinel works in both the Aurelian deck and the Keratin deck because its ability is not tied to a certain strategy. It's just a solid body that helps you get to higher levels of power. So for me, I think I'm going to take Power Breach Sentinel here. Could be wrong, but I think it's a solid first pick. This pack is pretty bad. We have Bare Arms, which is pretty good. Lethrai Intimidator is much better after the buff. And then we have tokens, basically. I don't love Plunder. Starved Vorlunk is not great. Fangs in the Dark doesn't excite me. And Defender's Bulwark is not very exciting either. Even though it doesn't go with our first pick, I'm going to pick Bare Arms here just because I think it's a stronger card than Intimidator is. Yes, Intimidator got better, but I don't think it is better than Bare Arms. Right now, early in the packs, you should just be taking the strongest cards possible so that you can figure out, okay, what is open at the moment. Once again, not a very exciting pack. Deadeye is here once again, so maybe this is a sign that Rakano is open. Coastal Recruit is here. Frost Talisman is decent. And then there's some more filler like Oathkeeper's Hammer and Flickerling. And for me, I'm going to take Deadeye here just because it is a double pledger rather than the single pledge of Coastal Recruit. And it does have some upside with the Renown text on there, but it's not great upside. But I still think it's better than Coastal Recruit. Okay, in this pack, there's not a ton of great cards. I think Fireheart Recruit is probably the best. And it matches up with, the Bare Arms and Deadeye that we have. Ractodon Egg is okay, Frost Talisman is okay, but I think it makes sense just to take Fireheart Recruit here. I think it makes sense just to take another Fireheart Recruit here. It's lining up with what we've got going on so far. Disassociate, not very exciting. Bloodquill, it's not a great relic. Does look like the Aurelian relic stuff might be open, but a lot of these cards are pretty bad filler, so I wouldn't take any of that as a signal. So I'm just going to take the Fireheart Recruit here. I think Token of Instinct is kind of hedging towards being able to splash things like Changey Stick. It's also just fixing if you do end up in the Ixtun deck. All the other cards aren't very exciting. I think Magnetic Sentinel is too expensive, so yeah, I'm just going to take the token here. That is an extremely late Lethrai Hideaway. I think that's one of the better relics in this set, but probably just going to take Unmoored Valkyrie and stay on plan, since Feln is pretty far away from where we're at the moment. But maybe we're base Xenon and we should take it, and we could potentially be, Power Breach Sentinel, Lethrai Hideaway, Relics Matter, Aurelian stuff. Other option is basically just to take this Unmoored Valkyrie, which I think is probably fine. But I'm going to hedge on the more powerful card. Unmoored Valkyrie can be good and steal some games, but I'm going to hedge on the Lethrai Hideaway just in case we end up in this Aurelian deck instead of the Rakano, potentially Ixten one that we've started. Seems like that's the right call because all of these cards are made for the Aurelian deck, not for the Ixten Renown deck. So we'll take Sloth here. I think it's the best card. Pitfall Trap is one of the better relics. Could be worth taking here. There's also Carnivorous Sauropod, which, maybe we're actually base Praxis with these Fireheart recruits. This really is a hard pick because if we take Sauropod, we have the chance to hang on to these Fireheart recruits. If we take Pitfall Trap, we have the Tumbling Sloth, we have the Lethrai Hideaway, which I think are both decent. Sauropod is either a 3-drop or a 7-drop if we're with these Fireheart recruits, and we've got 2 3-drops there and a 6-drop in Power Breach Sentinel. I think I'm going to go with my gut though and take the Pitfall Trap. The fact that we saw the Lethrai Hideaway as late as we did makes me think that this Aurelian shell is likely going to be open, whereas the Sauropod, maybe it just snuck through. So yeah, let's take the Pitfall Trap here. Seems like it was the right call. We're going to take the fixing of Token of Vision here. Take a Flickerling, we might play it. And Consuming Greed is a great pickup for the Aurelian Relics Matters deck. So even though we were all over the place in that first pack, I think we've kind of settled into that we're likely in an Aurelian Relics Matters deck. And looking at this second pack, cards I'm looking at are either Stone Scar Scrapper or Ravenous Thorn Beast. I think those are the only two worth considering here. Initiation Bell, there's not enough spells to make this relic worth it, and you don't want to play bad relics just to enable your Relics Matters cards. So I think we're either looking at Scrapper or Thorn Beast. Scrapper could be good if we pick up Scavenge or something in the fourth pack. Thorn Beast is just a solid body. Let's take out some of this stuff that we're not going to play. So this is kind of where we're at. Yeah, I'm going to pick Thorn Beast here. I think getting a 5/5 for 3 is just super powerful. I'm not convinced that we're going to have enough dudes to consistently sacrifice to Stone Scar Scrapper, so I'm going to pick Thorn Beast here. Could be wrong, but just going to follow my gut. Oh my goodness, what an amazing pack for us. So Changey Stick is obviously great. There's also Trailmaker, which is great fixing and ramp. I think those are the two most relevant cards. Snowfort is even playable in this deck, but we didn't get any Acantha's Outriders, so I don't think it's worth taking Snowfort yet. And you're pretty likely to see these late. Stone Scar Magus is just a solid 4-drop. Hair Trigger Pistol's a decent weapon, but it's pretty hard to pass up Changey Stick here. So yeah, I think it is just Changey Stick here, but it is hard to pass up Trailmaker just because it's such great fixing, but Changey Stick can win games on its own. Wow, we have a lot of good choices here as well. Lightning Strike is solid removal. Xenon Stranger is good fixing. Another Thorn Beast is solid, and we also have Seek Power as well. Even Cryptic Etchings is reasonable in this Relics Matters deck, but I think here you just take the removal in Lightning Strike, because you're pretty likely to see some of these other cards again if our faction pairing is open, which it seems to be. There are also good Rakano cards here with Copperhall Cudgel and Copperhall Porter, but I think we're pretty committed to this Aurelian deck at this point, so we're going to continue down this path. Great fixing coming in here. Trailmaker is here. Ice Bow is nice, but we don't have any of the deadly guys to synergize with it at the moment. And Argenport Stranger only fixes for Shadow, so I think I'm going to pick the Trailmaker here. We're not locked into any of these colors yet being our main colors, so we'll just take the Trailmaker for the best fixing possible. Oh my goodness. Illumination Wisp is great. Elysian Stranger is really nice. And Cryptic Etchings, once again, is a passable relic in this deck. I think I'm going to take the Elysian Stranger here just because this deck seems like it's going to be pretty even in all three colors. So I'm going to prioritize fixing a little bit more than the more powerful Illumination Wisp. This is not good. So now there are really good Rakano cards here and no good cards in our colors. So I'm going to take one of these Rakano cards, I guess Granite Acolyte, just because it has the potential to go with our Fireheart recruits. But yeah, that's a little concerning. Could take Peacekeeper's Helm because maybe we actually splash that. Yeah, let's do that instead. Alright, Tower Top Patrol is very nice. But once again, Valkyrie Arcanist is here, so it makes me think that maybe we went the wrong direction, because there are some very strong Rakano cards here, but I feel like it's too late to be pivoting now. We would have needed to recognize it earlier. Campfire Watchman does a very good job of holding the ground, and when it's done doing that job, it's good sacrifice to Ravenous Thornbeast, so we'll pick it up here. I would play Icebow well before I play Belching Behemoth, so we'll take that. Jump Kick is a trick, and Praxis Banner. My goodness. Nightmaw is very hard to hit that influence requirement, but it is a very strong card. I think Adaptive Predator is also a bomb, not as hard on the influence requirements, so I think it's likely the pick here. There's also Dark Return, there's also another Lightning Strike, but I think really we should be looking at either Nightmaw or Adaptive Predator. So yeah, let's just take the Adaptive Predator since it's easier to hit the influence requirements. Illumination Wisp could be a nice pickup. There's also Dark Return, and I think I prefer the Dark Return to the Illumination Wisp. So yeah, we'll take the Dark Return here. Spear Diver is likely better than anything else here for us. It is a way to chip in some damage in the air or just hold the air. Hair Trigger Pistol would be a second one of these. So I think it's between Spear Diver and Scaly Gruon here. And for me, I'm going to pick the Spear Diver even though we need 2 drops just because this is a more powerful card. So I think here we should either be looking at Stone Scar Magus or Xenon Banner for the fixing. Magus is a solid 4-drop, but how are we doing on bodies? We've got 12 bodies with a pretty decent way to go still. And as I've mentioned, it does look like we're going to kind of be evenly split in these 3 colors. So I think the more fixing we can get, the better. So I'm going to actually take the Xenon Banner here over the Stone Scar Magus. So once again, prioritizing that fixing over a solid card. Violent Gust might make the deck. I think it's more likely to make the deck than Camel is. We'll take the Feln Banner for the fixing here. Aerial Ace might make the deck. Xenon Stranger is amazing for us here, just what we want. We'll take the Snow Fort. We likely won't play it, but I think we would play Snow Fort before we play Disjunction. Another Ice Bow. Could also take Skeeter here, but Skeeter is pretty underwhelming, so we'll take the Ice Bow. And then some quick filler picks. Okay, so before we get too deep into this pack, let's do a quick unit count so we know where we're at and kind of what we need to find in this pack. So we're at 14 units right now, which is pretty good overall. Doesn't concern me too much. And this pack looks pretty good for us. Colossal Teriax is a double pledger and just a bomb. So I think it's probably the pick here, but Pompous Historian is also good for us. Frostwave is fantastic. There's Fixing and Token of Knowledge here. And even Honeypot is reasonable if you're playing cards like Snowfort. I mean, it's even good with Lethrai Hideaway. But you can't pass up the Colossal Teriax here. It is greedy because it is double time, but I think we've got a decent amount of fixing that we're going to be able to play just about anything we want. So we could play Genev Cargo, or we could play Token of Vision. I think these are pretty much the two cards you want to be looking at here. I don't think we have enough bodies to make use of Mob Rule effectively, so I think it should either be the Cargo or the Token here. And since we got this Colossal Teriax, I think I want to try and fix for Primal a little bit more. So I'm going to pick the Genev Cargo here over the Token of Vision. Oh man, actually 3 great cards here for us. Great Valley Smuggler, Locust, and Rat Cage is even playable in this deck because we want to have things to sacrifice to Ravenous Thornbeast. But I think you can't pass up the Great Valley Smuggler here. This card will help fix for us. It'll give us access to more situational cards. So I think it's probably very good here. So yeah, let's take the Great Valley Smuggler since it'll allow our deck to do, play on a different axis. Oh my goodness, I want both these cards. Parry is fantastic combat trick. Secret Passage can be a way to close out games, and it's a solid relic. How many cards do I have that actually care about relics? Really just one Consuming Greed that cares about relics. So maybe it's just better to take Parry here, which is just a solid trick. Because we're pretty low on the Relics Matters cards, I think Secret Passage is not as good as Parry is because we're kind of just looking to be like less synergistic and more just good cards. So we'll take Parry. All right, we're coming into the home stretch here. Let's do another unit count because I think that'll kind of help us make the pick here. I'm looking at Power Breed Sentinel, I'm looking at Scavenge, I'm looking at Be Gone. Even the token is fine here. Only one I think I'm not looking at really is Breath Stealer. So we're at 16 units. We do need a few more. Our curve is very heavy in the 2 and 3 drop slot. I don't think we want Scavenge, so I think I'm just going to pick up another Power Breed Sentinel here, even though it is a little bit harder on our power base because time is really our splash. But I think this card is powerful enough that we want to be playing multiples of them. I think Rat Cage here might be the pick. Honeypot does care about relics, but I think we should take the Rat Cage. But all good cards for us. We did make the right read in the first pack that Aurelian was the right place to be. Oh my goodness, another Lethrai Hideaway. Could also get Glacier Shaper here. Let's take the Hideaway though, I think. If we pick Shaper, we have Ice Bows to trigger the Renown, we have Hair Trigger Pistol to trigger the Renown, and Changey Stick to trigger the Renown. So not a lot of exciting things to do there. I think Hideaway is just going to be better for us. Hey, Carradine Stewart is fantastic. Always happy to see this 2-drop. We'll take another 2/2 flyer for 3. Probably not going to play it though. Blood Quill is another relic. Could take the reinforced tower shield for fixing. It is also another relic, but maybe the lifesteal clause in here is relevant. So I think we're going to take this. Another Flickerling and Borrowed Violence. Okay, so we have a lot of relics. We have some things that want to sacrifice both units and relics with Ravenous Thornbeast and Consuming Greed. Don't think we want 3 Flickerlings. So we have 7 1 and 2 drops when you include the Lethrai Hideaways. 8 if you include Rat Cage as well. And really, I think it's going to be about what do we want to put in the market at this point. I'm wondering if you put both Aerial Ace and Spear Diver into the market. Neither of those are elves, right? Nope, Warrior and Warrior Serpent. I also think Violent Gust can go in the market, and probably Snowford as well. So the early plan in our deck is to play relics that matter, and then the late game plan is really just to play good cards like Colossal Teriax, Power Breed Sentinel, and Adaptive Predator. This is probably going to be an 18 power deck. So with the Genev Cargo, I think we just need 2 more cuts. I think we could go down 1 Ice Bow because we don't have a lot of synergy with them. We do have Keratin Steward, which is nice. But other than that, I don't think we're super high on Ice Bow. Also wondering if you just take out another Flickerling here. So let's take out 1 Ice Bow, put that in the market. If I do that, I can't play Ice Bow main. So would I want to do that? Would I want to take out this other Ice Bow? It really is only good if we have the Steward out. Like, it can be fine in other ways, but we have the ping from Pitfall Trap. Yeah, let's do it. Let's just take out this other Ice Bow and just play it in the market. And then this will be 18 power since we have the Genev Cargo. So let's get the power added to the deck. There was one more. Alright, we've got all our specialty lands in there that fix for at least 2. And let's get the power added to the deck. So 10 time influence, 14 primal, and then 13 shadow. So like I said, pretty even split between the 3. We do have pretty good fixing though. So let's start doing some influence counts to see where we're at. So it's 9, 9, 10 basically is what we have. So I think this is right where we want to be. It's unfortunate, but I think it's just the situation that we're in. So I think this is our deck. Just want to close out this drafting and deck building portion by saying thank you for being here. I really appreciate your support. And I also have an exciting announcement. We've been talking about hitting our 250 subscriber milestone on YouTube. Right now, we're just over 225 subscribers. So at 250 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a free coaching session with me, one-on-one drafting. We'll go through a draft together. We'll also play the games together. You can pick my brain about whatever you like. This is something that I want to start doing monthly as well, just to do some coaching with people and see if this is something that the community is looking for. So hopefully that's exciting for you guys. I'm definitely excited to hit that 250 subscriber milestone and give away our first coaching session. So next, we'll go into the games portion of the episode where we'll first talk about the deck a little bit and then we'll actually play some games. So I hope to see you in the next video.